What's the meaning for what we go through? It's a question I've long pondered and only started to find the answers to during the hardest battle I've ever had to face: a cancer diagnosis. I realized a bit of ways in that no one but myself could understand my own reality, and I had to define what it meant to be where I was and take the most from what I had to endure. It was my hope that one day the lessons I learned about life, love, gratitude, and acceptance would branch off to someone else who was right at the beginning where I once was. And that day eventually came when I met one lost soul so conflicted in his own head about the suffering of the one he loves and why their stories ended up in the hospital. Bad day?
You have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we are, so I kind of have a little bit of an idea. I mean, I've been around here long enough to know that if you're here, it's not typically a good day.
I hate it. I hate the fact that all of this had to happen.
Hey, listen.
Why I had to be here, why I have to be here, why she has to be here, what she has to go through, why she has to go through this, why I have to go through this.
Okay. Calm down. All right, everything's gonna be okay.
Well, how are you supposed to know that?
Well, because I have to. You know, I know it's such a cliche thing to say. I know it's not a certain thing to say that everything's gonna be okay. I know I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but you just gotta believe, man. I know this is a really shitty place to be in. I know that you don't want to be here. I know that I don't want to be here, but this is where we are, and that's what we have to deal with. All right? We're here because we have to be.
Yeah, but what's the meaning of all of this? Like, what's the meaning that I have to go through this, and you, whatever you're going through, what you have to go through, and why she has to go through all of this?
You know, it's funny that you ask about meaning because that has so many layers to it, man. I mean, when I got here as a patient 2.5 years ago, I was completely lost in my diagnosis with leukemia, and I had no idea what was ahead. I don't know why I was the one that had to get this diagnosis. A very scary, shocking diagnosis that completely changed the course of my entire life. But, you know, I had to realize that I'm going to be here regardless, and I have to be able to make the best of it. I can't sit around and just be so sad and sappy about life and about, oh, woe is me, why am I here? Which I know sounds a little bit harsh, but you got to stay optimistic through these types of days when you're in a place like this. I know it's hard to smile. I know it's hard to laugh when you're just in anticipation for news that could be the worst news that you could ever possibly get. And it's scary. I know. But finding that meaning, finding why you're here, figuring it all out, it's a process that doesn't just take one day, doesn't just take one experience. You know, finding the meaning it's all about how you find it for yourself, how you define your story, how you decide to respond to the shit that gets thrown at you. Whatever your partner and you are going through, whatever is ahead. I say that everything's going to be okay. I say that there is a greater meaning to it all because for me personally, that's how I get through. To take something like pain and not let it be in vain, to take the moments of such horrible experiences as lessons for how to work towards a much better, brighter tomorrow and a much stronger person than ever before.
This young man reminded me so much of the person I was when I first started here in the hospital. I remember when I began, at first, I thought that I was going to be all on my own in the way that I was experiencing treatment. That was until one day when I met a girl who had a spark in her heart that was so bright for such a dim place to be. It always left me speechless how positive she was. Her energy was powerful, but unfortunately, so was her condition. Even after she was gone, I took what she taught me about how to find light in the darkest of spots in life. I wasn't as good at it as she was, but I did my best to make her memory live on and how to take control of the story I was telling.
I know it's really hard to be in a place like this, and it's not supposed to be easy. It wouldn't be as real as if it was. And I really hope that things pass along pretty quickly and you guys can get out of here and move on with your story. But coming from someone who's been in here a while, you just gotta take every moment as it comes. Take each day by day, moment by moment, and breath by breath. Cherish the time that you have with each other. Cherish the things that you're still able to do and appreciate in this life. And don't be afraid to talk about and show how you feel to her, to yourself. It makes all the difference. I know it's scary being here. It's one of the scariest places to be. And trying to find the answer to why are we here? You could get lost in that type of question for so long, but it doesn't change the fact that this is where you are. So it's up to you on whether or not you're going to let that keep you down, keep you aggravated, keep you frustrated, keep you angry, and let it darken your soul until you feel hopeless and useless. You can let it do all that to you, or you can let it tell you that, wow, life is really valuable and precious, and you have to make, like I've said, the most of it as much as you can, because you never know what's going to happen next. And you got to believe that what happens next are good things, and you have to strive for it to be good things, because when you have that belief, when you have that type of mindset, when you have those smiles and laughs, even in the darkest of places, good things will manifest, and people will attach to that energy. They will see that, and they will start to manifest good things for them too, because they see that there is hope, there is something light ahead to follow. So yeah, I don't know whatever is going on in your head specifically. I don't know what your partner is going through, but I can tell you that the sun is going to rise again tomorrow, and it is going to be a new day.
Sir, we're ready to bring you over now.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Of course. Everything's going to be okay.
You see, defining the meaning to something takes the willingness to first accept its reality and power over you, and then taking control of that power by reinventing it in the way that makes sense, that makes everything fall into place how it must to allow you to understand it better. The next time you find yourself asking, why are we here? What am I supposed to do now? What purpose does our tribulation serve in a way to the end? Maybe, I don't know, just a thought. The purpose of such tribulations is not about the end, but about new beginnings.